I don't want him. I don't. He looks like a stud now. You know, he's not the handsome, clean cut, faded man that he was back when we did have sex.
You look like a
So
stud.
this whole new tight pants and that's not even what I'm into.
Why the hell so many people are trying to tell me to slow down? Seems like motherfuckers should be shutting the hell up and enjoying the show.
We have Travana Collier here. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Now, I gotta say, you kind of appeared out of nowhere. I've never seen you before. So I was a little taken aback when I got the email concerning your, I don't know if it was a secret relationship with Lil Durk or a relationship that he had between him and India or before India. And so I'm just here to get all of the details because apparently there is a fourth child, correct?
Yes.
And that is your child, correct?
Yeah.
With
my son Romeo.
Okay. Oh, I like that name, Romeo. It's always been one of my
Thank
favorite names. Yeah. And so there's been DNA to back up everything you have. You have sent receipts. I will be releasing those receipts as well following your interview. And so I just kind of want to start from the beginning. How did you and Lil Durk meet? And when did you meet?
We met a while back. It was maybe about 8 years ago. You know, my
Wow.
son 7. We met maybe like a year and a half before my son was born. But we had always known of each other. We had always known of each other because I went to school with MacArthur. MacArthur is Newski, his cousin. And we
Okay.
always, Dirk and, Newski were cousins. So we ran across each other, but we never really closely communicated up until, like I said, maybe about 8 years ago.
Okay, which was essentially around 20, what, 13, 14?
Yeah, he was dealing with Nikki at the time. He wasn't dealing with India. I knew nothing about India up until about maybe 4 years ago when the public found out. You know, she wasn't around back then.
Okay.
He wasn't even the Lil Durk that everybody knows.
Oh,
So I
so we got to
don't
get
know who.
into some wine now. Listen, you was like I heard that in your voice, the bass.
Yeah, yeah, but no.
So tell
So
us who Lil Durk was when you met him. Was he
well,
ashy
back then,
knees? What musty? Tell it.
no.
Come on.
He wasn't that bad. I mean, he had potential, but he wasn't as big as he was. So he was a little more humble. You know what
Okay.
I mean? You kind of go around him and be around him and just kind of have that comfort feeling. Like, he wasn't all big headed. Like, it's the internet and his success. He's gotten better along the years, but it's like, I don't know this new person. I know the old
Mm,
person.
mm.
He would invite everybody into the studios with him. We would sometimes, I used to give him rides. He didn't have a car. We would just stay up and hang out together. I would get my girls. He would have his friends, but we weren't initially like ever in a relationship or anything. We just kind of all knew the same people and hung around each other a lot. They back then when he lived in Chicago, they used to feel comfortable around people that they didn't feel like were fanned out or were after something, or as they say, hanging with the ops and stuff. And have been knowing Newski his whole life, so they were comfortable with me and my sister and our friends. We would bring.
Okay.
I actually live in Indianapolis, and I've been back and forth from Chicago to Indianapolis. I was originally born in Chicago, but I would always bring new women around, and they liked that. They liked that, and they
Okay.
were like, friends. You cute. We know you. We know you not a op. So bring your friends. Studios, parties, whatever. We just used to hang out,
So when did you guys
and
start sleeping together?
we started sleeping together around his birthday. It had only happened maybe twice. It wasn't a big thing because he would try to come on to me, but he had already dealt with a few of my friends. So back then. So my son was born July 1st, 2014. So October of 2013 is when we kind of first started dealing with each other. And I got pregnant the first time we had sex.
Wow.
Yeah.
It must have
And
been one hell of a night.
oh, it was. Oh, it was. He
Lord,
actually,
for you to make a baby the first time, that was one hell of a night.
yeah, and he knew I was pregnant before I did. So that's why the way things are going now is surprising to me, because I honestly, it was my first child. I was young. I was 21, but I was still kind of young. So I really didn't know what I was taking myself through. And at the time, I was working a regular job. Like now, I'm still a regular person. I'm not, you know, trying to, what's going on in the
Yeah.
world. That's
Be the
I'm regular.
celebrity baby mama.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
That's why I get so overlooked and stepped on, and I'm pretty much tired of that. But back then, I wanted abortion money. I was scared. I didn't know what to do, and I knew he had 2 kids by India. I mean, sorry, by Nikki already, and so I didn't want to get caught up in that. And she ended up finding out about me and him dealing with each other, and he pretty much said, "F me and my son," while I was pregnant. And during
Wow.
that time of me already being pregnant, I'm not sure if you know who Fredo Santana is, but
No.
I began dealing with his brother. Well, I began dealing with somebody that Durk knew, brother.
Okay.
And he was a little disturbed by that. And I get it. Men have their self-esteem or whatever. They get embarrassed or whatever. Their manhood gets
Now,
tarnished. I
now
don't
who
know.
got embarrassed? Was it Lil Durk or French Santana?
Yeah, no. It Dirk got embarrassed because the guy I was dealing with when I was pregnant with his child, because he said, "Forget us," he got a little disturbed by that because it was somebody he knew. So my whole pregnancy, he just kind of was like, whatever, I don't care. But when my son was born, my son came out looking like him, and he knew my son was his. I dealt with somebody else while I was pregnant, but that don't take away what was real. You knew I was
Yeah.
pregnant before I even started dealing with this man. You just kind of left me hanging, and I was kind of lost. So, and I wasn't getting the best advice from my parents and stuff like that. So I just was just doing whatever was right. I felt was right. But
Oh.
anyway, I had my son. Nikki found out about my son being born, and Nikki started to keep him from his other kids. So as Dirk tried to FaceTime and communicate, as my son was born, she found out, and she tried to have conversations with me to even pursue paternity through her kids for my kids. And when I told Dirk that, he got upset with her. He was like, "Don't go bothering her." And he basically told me, like, I'm gonna take the test. You don't have to go through my baby mama. Don't just ignore her, just leave it alone. So he said that he would take paternity tests and never did. He pretty much gave me a runaround like he's doing now. So it's like, you told me you would take and now that you didn't, and I go back to your baby mama to say, "Hey, can we, Dirk's still not doing it now." She's like, "That's between y'all." She tried to basically clear herself from it.
So how
And
did you
then,
end up getting the DNA test? Because I saw some DNA results.
his mom, as my son,
What?
as my son got older, D Thing has always known about everything that was going on. He has always known. And he was kind of taking Dirk's word for it, because I didn't have that voice. Nobody would kind of back me up. It was a lot of people that knew, his friend, family, but nobody would kind of back me up. And because the rowdy, ratchet kind of person to go to the internet or go to the blogs, or they just kind of overlooked me. And D Thing, I had sent D Thing a picture as on Instagram as my son got older, and it was a side by side picture of him and Dirk, and he was like, "Wow, man, that's crazy. He looked just like him." He like, "I'm gonna send this to my mom." So he sent it to his mom, and his mom asked if she could have my number, and this was maybe about 3 years ago.
Wow.
And basically, within the past 3 years, his mom has been keeping in close contact. Me and my son went to Chicago to meet her, and we got a paternity test. And the test came back, the probability was like 97 point whatever through her.
Wow.
So that was strong for just the grandparent. You know what I mean? So ever since then, she told me kind of like, I'm gonna talk to him, I'm gonna try to do what I can, and I'm gonna try to be there, and but it's just coming to a time where it's like that's not enough anymore. Because just last week, okay, so everybody knows about India making the lip gloss saying she was the 5th baby mama and everything. Okay, so she recently announced she's the 6th baby mama now. And she's saying, like, it I'm not mad about being the 6th baby mama, whatever. So everybody got curious.
Well, she should
People who have
be.
known
That ain't no badge of
right,
token. That ain't no token of honor.
definitely not, no matter what you have title of. But
Mm-mm.
anyways, a lot of people who had already known about it, my son, and couldn't understand why he wasn't acknowledging him were kind of like, oh, did she find out about Romeo, his other son? How did she go from saying she the 5th baby mama to now the 6th? And I had people tagging me in like different little blog sites and stuff like, this is other baby mama, this Romeo mom, or whatever. And then um so it kind of got close to my son being revealed to the world. And his mom got upset because his India received an email from somebody, and the email was saying like, how do you sleep at night knowing that Durk has a child that he doesn't take care of, and you know nothing about it, and it's a DNA test, and blah blah blah, just stating all facts. His mom called me like, a person with a 773 number email India, and I'm gonna call that number because they don't know what the F they talking about. And I'm like, wait, they didn't say nothing wrong. I'm like, did she didn't know about my son? And his mom was like, I mean, it's not that she don't know, but it don't really have nothing to do with her. That's his woman. Yes, it does. He's not doing right. So if she feel like she's the one we need to talk to, that's who we need to give the information to. You know what I mean? Because he's not doing his part. So his mom was like, I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. Not even 20 minutes later, she called me. Oh, he's doing a show. He's out of town. When he gets home Monday, we're gonna call. Okay. My son has not seen him up until this point. Except for FaceTime. Like I said, I sent the FaceTime when he was a baby.
Damn,
And
Dirt.
yes, so my son FaceTimed him. No, he FaceTimed my son on a group FaceTime. They have my son's number. I don't have to be involved. I don't make it my business to care. I have Dirk's number. I have his mom. I don't make it my business to interrupt their family because I know we have a family. I have a family of my own. I have, it's not like it's not about him. It's about my child. So they FaceTime my son last week. His mom FaceTime my son. She said, she promised me, she said, Dirk said he's going to call. We're going to try to work this out, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay. Now, mind you, my son's 7. I've been waiting. He FaceTimed my son. My son cried almost the entire FaceTime. And you can hear Dirk kind of, what's wrong? What's wrong? Don't cry. He's not real emotional. He's emotionless. He's real emotionless. So he's just kind of like, little bro, you calling your son little bro, but I didn't want to intervene because it's y'all calling his phone, y'all talking to him, y'all his people. I don't want to get in the middle of that, so his mom, he was telling his mom, we got to get him. We got to get him. We got to see him, so they asking me, when does he get out of school? I tell them the dates. And okay, nothing happens. It's just been a lot of false hope. Y'all see how emotional he gets when he talks to y'all. Y'all see that these are real feelings from an innocent child that did not ask to be here. Why do y'all feel it's okay or even necessary to go back and forth? Now, I understand if you completely just don't want to be a part of his life, you need to be a man and say that. So my child does not feel like he has that hope for, oh, maybe one day it's going to happen because your mom called all the time. Mom is still moving to your beat because I asked for money. If you're not going to be a part of his life, can we have some support? He won't even send my son money. And I see you rather feed the home than give my child a dime. That makes no sense to me. And I've been asked to, just take on the child support. It's not about money though. And the times that I did try to pursue child support, I'm a regular person. Like I said, I work a regular job. that stuff costs when you have to go after those rappers and all of that. You know what I mean? I don't have 10,000 sitting away to just waste to go take you to child support because you don't want to do what you're supposed to do. And then it's like it's forced. You know, if I ever came across a big loan sum of money, of course that's something I, you know, for the sake of my child. But I'm hoping with all the conversations we've been having amongst his mom, his brother, and everybody else, that one day it'll change, and it hasn't. And you know, he gave India when the whole six baby mama thing came out, he took India on a guilt trip. He gave her 100,000. This is like, even since my son was a baby, I've had to watch all of this go on the internet without having any help or support with my son. I'm forced to just see it. My son saw that picture of him and his other kids at Disney World, and my baby cried and asked me why couldn't he go. I can't answer that. You know what I'm saying? And I say stuff to his mama, and she's like, "Oh, I understand. I understand." You know, and I'm tired of you saying you understand, but
listen, I know that life has been kicking all of our ass lately, but we don't have to look like it. Walking around with dark circles like I used to, acne, hyperpigmentation, you can knock all of that out. Adjust your crown and return your skin to goddess status with the Regal Rose Club. Purchase their vegan skincare cleanser, moisturizer, and mask using the link below. It's made with all organic and premium natural herbs. Get your glow back with Regal Rose Club.
See, I enjoy oral sex, but to be honest, some of my experiences have been not pleasing due to lack of proper vaginal hygiene. I went down on this chick once, and the yoni was so good and fresh. It took me on like a whole nother level of just pleasure. So at that moment, I had to stop and ask, "What are you using?" And she told me, "Embrace Pangea Feminine Wash."
We all know that a fresh yoni brings on a whole new level of confidence, so visit embracepangea.com, and of course, I got my winos covered for a discount, so use the coupon code TASHAK for 10% off your first order.
I'm sure you're bringing it to him, but I'm sure he's sending you right back to tell you, "Oh, tell her anything, Mom." You know what I'm saying? Because he's taking care of you, you know, because she was just like, my son is in Chicago right now visiting my dad. She just went to D-Thang's daughter's birthday party in Chicago. She told me when I get to Chicago with my son, she wanted to see my son. We got down there together. She did not see my son. She lied about visiting him. My issue is, I'm tired of being so calm and considerate and not speaking on stuff that's bothering my child, to consider all these other adults' feelings and their image and how they want to portray to the internet. Because like I constantly say, how can this man preach about only the family? We have a DNA test. I'm not just pinning the baby on you, you know, and I could have been blew this up a long time ago, but it's like now my son is about to be 7, July 1st. I'm fed up. And I have no help or support as far as social media goes. And I'm not looking for no clout. But at the same time, as a father, I feel like you should do more than what you're doing. If that's what you're portraying to the internet, don't leave one out. You know, he don't have no reason. And if you're not going to be active, you need to support. You need to support, period.
Do you feel like... No. Go ahead, say that again. I'm sorry.
I could care less about seeing Durk or talking to Durk. It's about my son.
Yeah, I just couldn't imagine like a 7-year-old boy and he's watching his dad on television, on the internet, in parade and everywhere. Like what that does to him mentally and spiritually. And that's when we continuously have these generational just curses of Black boys not having fathers, and then they end up growing up. Not to say that your son is going to be a bad father, but there's always going to be that disconnect or something between him and his children. You know what I'm saying? That's always going to linger. And I feel that Durk is very weak. I feel that he allows women to sway him, and that lets me know that he himself did not have any type of father, a male figure. And if he continues down this road,
pretty much his entire life, since he was months old. Since he was months old, his dad was in prison. And I even wrote his dad in prison and didn't get a response. You know what I mean? Because I know it's that disconnect that he's having. But at the same time, that guilt should still be there, because imagine how my son is feeling, the same feeling you felt. And I'm sure it wasn't a good feeling. And I've never said, y'all can't get him, y'all can't see him. I never made it. I have threatened child support quite a few times. And they did tell me that one time they had to pay a lot of money because they lawyered up and they were preparing themselves to go to bat with me. But go to bat for what? Y'all have DNA. What I mean, what? I'm not asking for anything my son is not entitled to. You helped me conceive him.
It's amazing that Black folk, and you see it a lot, will rather pay, in most circumstances, a white lawyer money that they could just give their own child's mother, and just live a peaceful life. Like that to me is mind-boggling, and that just reinforces, like, when they say, it's white man's money at the end of the day. Like, you're making all this money, but yet you still find a reason to give it right back to the white man that gave it to you. So you're still poor.
Thank you. You buy designer. You always brag about taking care of your homies in jail, your homies this and that. And my son is just completely X'd out of the whole equation constantly. And I've been sitting back watching it for so long, talking to just your mom, who tells me, oh, tell Romeo to call me. Oh, y'all are important too. Call me anytime you need to and everything. Then I tell her, I say, I hate to bring this to you because it's not you, but you are my only point of contact, but can you please ask Durk if he could send us some money? I had to pay $200 for a spacer to put in my son's mouth. I had to pay for all kinds of different stuff. I've been supporting my son since day one, and he's a spoiled child. I'm not going to let him go without just because you're not helping, but you can help make this easier for me. You're fortunate enough to do that. You're not dead or in jail. I don't understand. I don't understand.
Yeah.
But what makes it so bad is I feel like this is the way to get to him. Like I said, you're upset and worried about India finding out about my son, about a child that you didn't tell her about, that you knew about when you got in a relationship with her. That's where the problem is coming in, which is why you gave her $100K for hush money, which is why you took her on a guilt trip and y'all had a photographer there to make yourself look fake happy. It's all internet. Deep down inside, all that pain and the voice and the music, that stuff eats you up. But why not just do the right thing? I tell his mom all the time, he don't have to post my son. He don't have to show the world that my son is his. He don't have to do any of that. That's not who I am, or this would have happened a long time ago. I've been asked to talk to people and do interviews and all of that. I chose not to because I don't want nobody coming to look for something that I don't have. I'm a regular person. I live a peaceful, happy, regular life. I don't, designer means nothing to me. I'm not living beyond my means. I'm not a Jada, a Ari. I'm not any of that. That's not who I am. And that's not who I'm trying to become. I'm 28 years old, and I'm trying to just make sure that my son, he loves football. My baby loves football. He wants to go to the NFL. You know what I mean? Those are dreams of his at 7 years old. He lays in his bed and watch YouTube football players all day long, different plays, I constantly got to yell about him running through the house throwing the ball because that's just so much. But I want to be able to send him to AAU teams and different stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You're fortunate enough to sponsor that. You don't want to be there as a dad, be a sponsor. That's my thing. You can help him without being there. Because I don't really like you could teach him anything with blonde dreads and platinum teeth. I don't feel like you can teach my son anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. But reality is still reality. He knows that you're his dad, and that hurts him. And for you to sit on FaceTime and watch him cry because he hasn't talked to you or seen you, and this is his first time interacting with you that he can remember, and he's hurt, and you don't feel no remorse for that. I'm just tired. So this is why I'm coming to you all now, because I'm tired. I have to be his voice.
What if you were to start a GoFundMe and ask the viewers for the funds to and you can post it to your Instagram to help you to, get a lawyer to go after Durk to take care of your baby financially? Because there's no doubt, I'm going to be honest with you, if you don't get it now, you're never going to get it, because the way he's already living and all of the kids, there's going to be more. That money is going to be gone in, I would say, the next 5 to 6 years. These rappers get money off of shows. They have entourages that they pay. You know, they have these lifestyles that are way above the norm. And if you don't do something now and get the money that you're owed, which is back child support, which will be a hefty amount of money, plus what he has going on, you have to, and listen, I don't ever advocate for Black men in the system, but when you're having to go around in circles just to get a relationship, then guess what? Since you like and you would rather give your money to a white lawyer, I'm going to have you give your money that's going to come through a white system, and I'm going to get a cut. And it's really going to eat your ass up. You see what I'm saying? And so him wanting to travel outside of the state to do shows, can't do them because guess what? You can't drive. You can't, you know, they'll literally, if he doesn't pay, they're going to be locking his ass up. They're going to be issuing warrants. And then what are you going to do if you got shows and you're missing out on shows and bookers and bookies don't want to book you because you're unreliable? They don't know if you're going to get locked up or not. You see what I'm saying? Like, you really got to make it hard for him.
And that's the thing. You are absolutely right. And I've been trying to avoid that because the money was my goal.
It's an investment. It's an investment because if he's going to give 4 women money just to keep them quiet, you're starting with the first baby mama, the second baby mama, the third baby mama, the fourth, whatever. And everybody's getting money but you to support somebody that he helped to make. Like, no, like you got to put your foot down. Like, I mean, he obviously doesn't care about you or your son. And so do this in honor of your son. And guess what? You ain't even got to use the money on, you know, on your son right now. You could put that away in a trust. So when he does go to college, you know what I'm saying? He'll have that money before his daddy pisses it away buying hoes. And that's exactly what he's doing. And let me tell you how real fucked up he is. Like, the women that he's messing with, I believe it was like some Dej, I can't remember her name, but it was the girl before the baby mama now, India. And he kind of, you know, he was messing with both of them on and off. So he'll give India 100,000 or purses or whatever, watches and stuff. But as soon as she doesn't do what he says, he takes it back and blasts it on the internet. Have you seen that?
Yeah, very immature. That's who he is.
And that's what I'm saying. Get yours right now.
This may be, you can't teach my son anything. What can you teach him? What are you doing that is making me just have that desire for you to just, you know, us to just want to be around you? What can you show him? It's not even that. Just support him. You don't have to be in his life. It's no dying urge for us to just, Durk. You were like 7 years ago when my son was born. You are not who you are now. I was giving you rides to the studio, buying you White Castle because you had to wait for checks and different stuff when you were with other companies and all of that. You didn't even have title to your money. You know what I mean? Now you stacking it up in your face talking about how you take care of all your kids, but you ain't sent my son nothing.
He ain't Boosie. Now I gotta give it to Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie have all his children at the house.
Oh, no, not Boosie. I was saying.
No, I'm saying he ain't Boosie. Like, he on the internet talking about, he taking care of his children. No, you're not Boosie. Lil Boosie take care of his kids.
I definitely give salute Boosie because he definitely take care of his
Even
kids.
though he may not like the baby mamas, he still had them kids over to the house.
And that's another thing. You around all these rappers that got just as many kids as you. They taking care of their kids though.
Yeah.
Where's the disconnect?
I believe he's been so he's been so trained, and so that's another thing that we have going on within the Black community, and wholeheartedly a lot of the times it's not our fault. Is when our Black moms and us Black women become single moms, a lot of times the moms train their sons to become their men. Not a man, but to become their man, to protect them, to take care of them. And that's how you're going to do every woman. And that's what you're going to do regardless. And so if you don't, all hell is going to break loose. And I believe Durk's mom has trained Durk to be, because it's hard to train a man to be a man in Chicago, okay? And let alone,
that's why
keeping them out the street and stuff like that. And so what happens is they end up turning their sons into the man that they never had. Like you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so they end
Right.
up learning early that this is what you got to do. You got to, of course, you got to take care of your women. But when your mom is not instilling too, that there's another part of that. And she should have put responsibility on him that your dad is not here. So it's imperative that you don't do the same thing. But instead, she trained him to be a money vessel for her. So
Exactly.
you see what I'm saying? And all of this is coming full circle. But if I was you, you know, on your Instagram page, get your money, use your tax returns, get that money,
Yeah.
invest. You may be in court for 6 months. Okay, that's fine. But at the end of the 6 months, you're going to get all of that back, your lawyer fees, inconveniences, loss of time from work, having to do this, and 7 years back pay. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
According to his
Yeah.
salary now, not according to
Yeah.
his salary back then. So you could play dirty, but guess what? I guarantee you, when push come to shove, he'll pay you. He'll pay you to be quiet because it's going to cost him more to go through them white lawyers versus just dealing with you just like that.
And that's what I always tell his mom. I was talking to his mom. You know, I'm not here to make anybody look bad. I'm here to just bring out the truth because I'm tired of being quiet. You know what I mean? I try to be nice about it, but the nicer I be, y'all just step on me. Y'all taking my kindness for weakness. You know, I know they're going to be upset about me doing this interview, but at the same time, I'm hurting my son the more quiet I be. I'm his voice. He can't say how he's feeling. And y'all don't get the phone calls from the school and the breakdowns, and you know, he's not bringing those pictures and YouTube videos to y'all when he's upset or sad or enraged because he knows the truth. My point is, if y'all weren't going to go all the way through with it, y'all should not have even approached him. Y'all should have just left us alone. Right. Why keep giving all these false promises? Because I feel like his mother, as a grandmother, she feels bad because she knows my son is an innocent child. And like I tell her, mother to mother, if this was your son, you would not like how this feels. But at the same time, she has no control over Durk, so he's not going to listen to her. So he tells her, you take care of it. You talk to her. You know, with this interview, he's probably going to go to her like, see, it's your fault she did it because you was the one been talking to her. You know what I mean? He's going to blame her. And it's like, I don't get that. I don't get that. But this is how the situation is always treated. I said something about going to court for child support before. His mom, sorry.
It's okay.
His mom stopped talking to me for a couple weeks. You know what I mean? She stopped talking to me and even told me, like, stop texting my phone, stop calling my phone. You know what I mean? Because of what he said, because of his reaction. You know, he kind of threw it in her face like, see, you know, but there was a turnaround because, like I told her, yes, that's what I would like to do if he's not going to be active. But at the same time, it's not about money with me. You know, I'd rather y'all just be in his life because he know who y'all are. But y'all prefer to take it another route, so we can take it another route.
Well, you know, make it about money, honey. And that, let me tell you, you got to hit him where it hurts, okay? And so I appreciate you coming through to share your truth. We'll definitely be putting your social media below so people can reach out and definitely offer support and stuff like that, especially other moms who have been through it and stuff. And I guarantee you, once the public starts to rally up, you'll see a change. Okay, you'll see.
I really appreciate you giving me an opportunity to say my truth on behalf of my son because I'm doing it for him. You know, he's never been without, you know what I mean? But life would be much easier if he had the support of his dad that's fortunate enough to help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He deserves to go to AAU and play football and
he
go
will.
Yeah.
He
and
will.
That's all I want for him because he's deserving of that. You owe him that. You're his dad. You owe him that.
Yeah. Okay. So well, thank you so much. And please tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram or Facebook.
Instagram is Queen Travana, QueenTravonna.
Okay.
I don't have a Facebook.
It's okay. It's okay. And so,
Instagram
I'm
man.
just so humbled that you were vulnerable enough to come up and share your frustrations, and you were very honest. Because a lot of women won't say, "Oh, I was, yes, I dealt with him, and I knew he had a girl, and y'all was all young at the time, and then of course,
Yeah.
I was with somebody when I got pregnant, but I always knew who the father was. You know what I'm saying? And so, the transparency is what's needed because a lot of these conversations are hard to make, and
Hmm.
he knows. And so, let's
And
hope that he does
I
well.
say that wholeheartedly because Dirk, you may still be disgusted with me. You may even hate me because your pride as a man. I dealt with somebody else while I was pregnant with your child. I get it, but it's not about me. Ignore those feelings about me because it's not about me. It's about the child. I'm not ashamed of anything I've been through because I mean, you have to go through to grow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm who I am today. I'm not that same person I used to be. So get over that. Grow
Yeah.
up and take care of your child. That's all I want. I don't want him. I don't He looks like a stud now. He's not the handsome, clean cut, faded man that he was back when we did have sex.
You look like a
So
stud.
this whole new tight pants and that's not even what I'm into. I don't even want my son looking into that. You know what I
Well,
mean?
word on the street is like, I got some information that he was and still is secretly holding a relationship with transgender Sydney Starr. Yeah.
I won't touch that one because I don't know anything about it. But I mean,
when you see them evolve, like that over the years, there's a reason. You understand? They attracted
surprises me
what they
these days.
really like. But my source that came to me, and I'm telling you, Sydney will shut it down. You know what I'm saying? Or who knows? I don't know, because Chingy was her come up. But yeah, the source that brought it to me is 1000% and said this is a secret relationship, and Sydney is the one supposedly doing the talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do appreciate you giving
Thank you.
me my truth. It means a lot to me. Like, whichever way it goes from this point, I feel like as a mother, I just wanted to do all I could. I've reached out to all the family. I tried to keep it within, off of social media, but this is what everybody live for. This is where he comes to make himself seem like this superhero to the world, and they don't even know the secrets that he have hidden. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you hide a child that you know is rightfully and honestly yours? It doesn't make sense. And it's not that I want my son to have this social media life, but if this is who you are, he'll pay.
You just really exposed him as a bitch and as a simp. You know what I'm saying? And whatever a woman says do, he's gonna do because he's a bitch and his mama raised him that way because he ain't had no male figure. And that right there, that tells it all. So, I appreciate you being honest, but go after the pockets before they empty. Please.
I will.
Okay.
I will. It's rightfully my son's. Thank you.
Thank you.